Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nova Southeastern University. I'm Dave Dawson, Executive Director of University Relations, and we're honored and pleased to welcome back to campus Edwin Black, New York Times bestselling author and once again Pulitzer nominee. Edwin has been a frequent visitor to our campus, having lectured in our law school, business school, to our undergraduates, our university school on subjects of his previous books, everything from eugenics to the history of the Islamic Jihad, and then even items tied to the Holocaust. Whoops, hold on. Okay, thanks. It's only fitting that Edwin have his global book launch and book tour begin here at Nova Southeastern University. Edwin is a frequent user of this library, this wonderful Sherman facility, in his research, and thank Library Director Don Riggs and Nora Quinlan and the staff for their assistance in Mr. Black and in his book. When you read Internal Combustion, very early on in the book, as Mr. Black carefully chronicles the history of transportation in our country, come to the conclusion, after you've read what happened around 1900, that if you stopped, froze time, and said, what is the history of transportation, you would be thinking by now you would all be driving electric cars. And those electric cars would be repowered every evening in a unit that occupies a small space in our garages. So the question is, what happened? And what went wrong? And for those that think that there's nothing wrong, a trip to the gas station and $40 or $50 for a fill-up in a war that at least has something to do with oil is a lot wrong. Today we're going to find out what's wrong, but more importantly, we're going to find out what we can do about it. So if you'll turn your attention to the video real quickly.
gentlemen, please welcome Edwin Black.
Thank you very much for coming, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to be launching a 50-city national tour, 300 events. I'm doing it from Nova in Fort Lauderdale in a fitting reason because this was one of the most cooperative institutions in my quest to find out what really happened that created a century of lies in this country about energy, transportation, and oil. I want to say right now who I believe is to blame for our energy crisis and for our addiction to oil. It is the public, because the public has allowed itself to be suckered by the media, by big business, by big oil, by big corn, and by government misconceptions and distractions. I intend to change that. Electric cars were running up and down this country a century ago, not 20 years ago, not 30 years ago, not 40 years ago, 100 years ago. All the cars were electric. There were clean running trolley systems running up and down the streets of all the cities. What happened to those cars? There was a secret plan by Ford and Edison to put an electric car in every home, powered by home generators in the basement or the backyard shed. General Electric had developed an Electrant to be as commonly available on the streets as parking meters, where people could park, shop, and plug their car in. What happened? Lies, misconceptions, corporate conspiracies. All of that I'm going to detail today at 7 o'clock at my inaugural speaking event at Nova in this building. I'd like to take a moment to thank the fine people at Nova and the library in particular, Nora Quinlan and Mr. Riggs, for giving me unparalleled support in my quest to discover what really happened, who really destroyed the trolley systems, who really caused the electric car to disappear 100 years ago. What happened? Now, you know, I worked at libraries around the United States and overseas. I worked at the British Library, I worked at the Huntington Library, I worked at Georgetown, all these libraries, these distinguished ones. I worked at Harvard, Yale, etc. But the one that was the most cooperative and the most helpful, the one that has given me the most lasting memories, is this one. And I think it deserves to be noted because this library and this institution is more than a cloistered tower of academia. It really is a kind of a blossom in the community, and it tries to bring its community in to its halls of knowledge. It doesn't try to keep them out. So I'm happy about that. Now, I am today, without anyone's permission, launching the Green Fleet Initiative. History is history, and you'll find out about that in my book, but I want to explain to you how we can get off of oil right now. Anyone here from the media? Okay, fine. I want to ask the people in the media if you are aware that there is a vehicle today that runs on compressed natural gas, and that this vehicle is made by a major car maker. It's purchasable in the United States right now, and that it can fill up from a small pump in your garage that would be hooked up to the same pipes that give gas to the oven or your barbecue grill. Are you people aware of that? No. What media are you from?
Me?
Yeah.
American Combustion newspaper.
And you?
The Los Angeles Company newsletter.
Okay, fine. Let me ask you another question. There was a gal in Georgia who didn't show up for her wedding and took a bus to Las Vegas. Remember her? The runaway bride? You know about her, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. On the day that Honda announced its compressed natural gas car, which would take people off of oil and off of gas stations immediately, the runaway bride took a bus to Las Vegas. And that's what the media told the world. So now you're all fretting about the gas crisis, but you're giggling about the runaway bride. Okay, now what kind of cars are available right now? There's compressed natural gas cars, and compressed natural gas cars are a bridge technology to hydrogen cars. The hydrogen cars are going to be delivered by Honda and BMW within about 3 years, perhaps more. They're waiting for volume orders and for the market to mature, and that's going to be the touchstone of my Green Fleet initiative. The Honda vehicle will come with a home energy station that is built right now by a company in New York called Plug Power. Okay? And this is about the size of this podium, a little fatter, and it will power your entire house, and it will fuel 5 cars. And these cars will be beautiful cars, and they will be powerful cars, giving you the power that sent astronauts to outer space and to the moon, hydrogen, using the most abundant element in the universe. And there's enough hydrogen being distributed every day in this country, in pipelines, and by trucks, and in depots, to fuel 1 million hydrogen cars. Now, what are they all waiting for? Demand. And this is where I have a line of departure with most everybody in America in the Green Revolution movement. It's not going to be done by individuals. It can't be. That's not enough. It needs to be done en masse. And the only way to provoke mass production is to have mass demand. And that mass demand will come first and foremost from private and governmental fleets. Federal Express has 44,000 vehicles. How many of them are electric? How many are of compressed gas? How many are of hydrogen? Where are their purchase orders? UPS, 88,000 vehicles. The United States government, 600,000 vehicle fleet. That's separate from the post office. I am asking companies, universities, hospitals, counties, government units to fax purchase orders to the companies who are responsible and who are developing vehicles that exist today. Purchase orders for electric cars, hydrogen cars, and flex fuel cars that do not run on any form of petroleum, such as Brazilian ethanol, which is 100% oil-free, but which is kept out of this country by a 54-cent punitive tax, while corn ethanol, which is 1/8 as powerful and requires 1 gallon to 1.25 gallons of petroleum to make 1 gallon of ethanol, that is kept in the United States, allowed to flourish, and for every gallon of corn ethanol, 61 cents in a quiet government subsidy is paid directly to the oil companies. If we want to solve our energy crisis today, not in 5 years, we will allow Brazilian ethanol in now, today. Drop the punitive subsidy. We will teach the public what they really need to know, that corn ethanol is like fat-free. It really ain't. And 3, fleets, large, small, medium-sized, must fax purchase orders indicating a hierarchy of purchase acquisition. We are going to purchase the first reasonably priced vehicle that runs on pure hydrogen. If we can't get that, we're going to go for a pure electric car. A hybrid car is just another way of extending our oil addiction. It just lets you string it out. I'm asking for fleets everywhere to adopt this hierarchy. The votes don't count. The letters to the editor don't count. Only the facts will count. Because as we know, in energy, since the days of the pharaohs hoarding timber, it's never about the technology. It's never about the transportation. It's always about the money. Money talks. And the fax machine is louder than the ballot box in this particular case. Thank you very much, and I'll take any questions that anyone has.